All right. So the reason the reason I have brought you here today is to talk about one movie and one movie in particular. That is Captain America. All right. So what were my thoughts going into the movie? I had none. I had zero expectations. That way I couldn't be disappointed. I had seen a couple of my friends talk about it and they were like, oh, okay. I'm gonna try and keep it as spoiler free as I can. There's not really a whole lot to spoil. I'm going to be honest. Like by the time I got to the end of the movie, I was just kind of tuned out. It's very rare for me to get on my phone during a movie, but I did look at it a couple times. And I got to the end of the movie and I was just like, what did I watch? Not even like I was confused. I was just like, I couldn't remember because there were very few moments that actually managed to hold my attention, which is not something that I wanted to say. Like even with Eternals, that wasn't the best MCU movie, but there was still like some fun to be had. It was a cast of new characters. It was an interesting new look at the MCU as a whole from the cosmological. Why am I forgetting the word? I don't want to say cosmetic. Fuck. Cosmic. Damn. The cosmic sense of the MCU. It was nice to see that side of things and kind of reframe what we knew about the universe up to that point. And I guess this isn't a spoiler since they addressed it in the trailer. They finally addressed the giant celestial in the ocean, and it is, funny enough, it is actually plot relevant too. Something that I didn't like early on. Was it even early? I don't even remember how much time I spent watching this movie. That's unfortunate. But something that happened, I guess, relatively early on into the movie is he gets the new suit. I'll be honest, I didn't like that suit. Design-wise, it's fine. It's an MCU suit. It's an MCU suit, so it's fine. My issue with it has always been I prefer the white Captain America suit simply because it feels like Sam's own Falcon Captain America mix, like he's coming into his own. This one, in my opinion, looks too much like a Falcon version of Steve's suit, if that makes sense. And it's I don't know. You can make the argument that it's him living up to the standard of being Captain America. You could argue that it's just for the sale of more toys. I really don't care. That's just my own minor nitpick. On the whole, it did come off the heels of Falcon and Winter Soldier, where he was trying to prove himself as Captain America. And he does give a speech to Joaquin over here, Joaquin Torres, Falcon, about what it's like to try and live up to the expectations of being Captain America. I really liked that speech. I'm not going to lie. It was the one moment where I was like, hold on, actually, there's something here. And he raised a good point of how as he is who he is, people are gonna look at him, see one thing when he's so much more, and he's trying to prove himself to be I understand it now. He's trying to prove himself to be something more than just what people see, and I get that. Like obviously he is, I don't know if you guys know this, Anthony Mackie's black, which means that Sam Wilson is by extension black. Crazy, I know, but it is important. And another thing is he didn't take the super soldier serum, so he's essentially just a guy with a lot of technology flying around, trying to live up to the legacy of the great Steve Rogers, the man who stood up to Thanos, inspired and led the Avengers against two different alien invasions. Yeah, exactly. He's a guy with wings and a shield. But it was nice, that speech at the end, where he was talking about the pressure that he feels weighing down on him and how he has to carry that with him everywhere he goes. And if he fails, he's not just letting himself down, he's letting down everyone else who would have killed to be in his position. Everyone who was climbing to get a seat at that same table. Great. Actually, I have no notes on that speech. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't ham-fisted, which is what I would expect from an MCU movie, so that was good. Negatives? I mean, where is she? Sabra. I'm gonna be honest. Okay. I feel like I have to get this out of the way immediately. I am pro-Palestine. I want liberation for the people of Palestine. Point blank, period. That being said, it was like she was really a non-factor in this movie. I know a lot of people were boycotting because of the Israeli actress in the movie. She was very minuscule. Like, I don't think they say her code name. If they did, I was too zoned out to pay any real attention to it. They essentially make her the Black Widow. They straight up just say like, oh, she had like the same training as Black Widow and now she's here, just don't get in her way. But she was just kind of flat, really. Like, she didn't really have a personality. I don't know. Maybe they were trying to go for like the same kind of feel, like a cool, calm, collected secret agent as Black Widow herself, but she just didn't bring anything. I was thinking like, obviously they couldn't bring Natasha back, but they could have had almost anybody do what she did. She didn't do anything that was like specific to her. They for like, actually no, yeah, they could have had really anybody. Like, the more I think about it, it didn't have to be Sabra. They mention her being from Israel one time, and that's the only time. Does not come up again. And her like training or whatever doesn't impact her as a character. He's just there. He is just, I'm the military hard ass and secret spy. Okay, I guess. On the whole, I think the movie, it was just very fine. Threw her in to fill a slot. Yeah, basically. Like, she didn't add anything of note. She also didn't detract anything, I would say. The movie on the whole, it was just fine. I wouldn't say I was like bored out of my mind because I've seen some very boring movies, but save for like one or two moments, I didn't really get any pops. I didn't really get super hyped, which is kind of disappointing because I do want to support a black-led superhero film. Like Anthony Mackie, he can be funny. He's a funny dude. He had some moments in there that made me laugh. And I want to be able to see more faces like his on the big screen, because I know that like if this doesn't do well, they're going to be like, ah, shit, it's because we had a black person on screen. And I'm like, no, that's not the case. Especially in today's America. I don't want it to be like, oh, you are only going to call upon a black person to try and get some DEI bucks. And when the DEI bucks don't flood in like they're supposed to, well, I guess that's all the money we could make off of you. Back to the background. All right. You're relegated to cameos for the rest of your days. So on that note, I would say, I think it's, I don't want to say watch it just to support, but that is essentially what I did. I think given a little bit more time, I think that he could come into his own as a leading man, because this was a conversation that me and my friends had the other day. They were like, I can't think of any other leading roles or anything that Anthony Mackie has had outside of Twisted Metal and that one episode of Black Mirror. Right? And I want him. I wish the best for him. I want more black faces on the screen. I think Anthony Mackie could develop the potential to be a leading man. I think he could be Captain America, despite what a lot of other people feel in and out of the MCU. You know? I just think the script wasn't there. I think the script was very mid. It was kind of by the numbers. The only twist was the villain. Granted, it may have been in the trailer. I'm not gonna say who it was. I'm not gonna say who it was because again, I'm trying to keep it as spoiler free as I can. And I didn't watch too many trailers, but I do think that the villain was like, oh, that's an interesting call out. But at the same time, the moment that they popped on screen, or because they were obscured in shadow the first time we see them, we don't know who it is. It's just supposed to be, ooh, who could it be? I looked and I was like, hey, it'd be really like interesting if they brought so and so back, because I don't think we've seen this person since like 2010. I was right. Yeah, I was right about who it was. So, but you know, he was utilized in an interesting way. I do appreciate villains who are more brain over brawn, who are calculated, who are like, I'm going to break you down without laying a single hand on you. I'm gonna have a Marvel movie marathon before I watch this so I can remember shit. I don't even think you need to do that, really. Not for this one. There's like a handful of call outs, and also that's a lot of content to go through. I think if you had to watch anything, okay, this one might be a giveaway. The Incredible Hulk from 2008, Captain America 2, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I guess the Eternals, but like you know the Eternals. That's all you need to know from this movie, or prior knowledge, really. What would I rate the movie? I was about to do the letterbox actually. Like it's like a 5.5. And actually, no, I'm gonna call it a 6, because usually my scores go down with time. So I feel like it's gonna slide back down to a 5. But I feel like 5 is for the truly boring. Like the last movie that made me feel truly bored the whole time was Madam Web. This is not Madam Web. I liked this more than Madam Web. There were actually characters in this, and there was fun to be had here. There was a little bit of fun to be had here, so I'm not gonna bash the movie, but I really think that the writing could have been a little bit stronger. On the whole, it was just kind of straightforward the whole way. I forgot Madam Web was a movie, bro. Sony didn't. Sony thinks about that movie every single day. All right, they think about that, and they think about Morbius, and they think about how they were gonna try and connect that with Kraven and make their own Spider-Man free Spider-Man universe. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Captain America Brave New World. It had potential. It could have been something, but at the end of the day, it was just very mid. Yeah, that is the end of that. Those are my thoughts on Captain America Brave New World. If somebody wants to talk spoilers later, I can, but we'll save that for later. For now, I need to